morning, everybody, and welcome into the locker room with Billy Schweim right here on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app.
What?
Pete Thompson's in the house.
Oh, Billy.
You know what they say, the show must go on.
That's true. Did you sound this bad yesterday? I didn't get to hear the show yesterday.
Even worse.
Yeah?
My daughter, my 6-year-old, my little doopy-doo, she's been sick all week.
She got you.
And what she's been doing is she's been crawling into our bed during the week when she's sick. So, it's inevitable. Someone's going to get sick.
Absolutely. And it was you. It was you, not your wife.
So far, so good.
Well, you know what'll happen, too. Wait, this gets better. You've got it right now. You're fighting through it, right? Eliza Grace, is fine, right? And then it'll hit Tony next.
And not only that, I have my 100-year-old mother there.
That's true. Well, you want to be careful, man.
So here's another thing, too. Yesterday, after the show, a very good friend of mine, Rick Spackman's mom, passed away.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
Very sorry. And but it was great. It was like a lot of great memories with Ricky playing football for college and high school. His mom and dad used to make pancakes for the whole team.
Really?
Yeah, it was great.
All right.
It's a memory we'll always have. But a lot of the guys from the team showed up yesterday. But I had to go to the funeral, and I was struggling. I brought my mom with me, and I was struggling. But I had to be there for Rick and the family. But I as soon as I got home, I didn't really watch too much of this. I tried to watch some football, but I took medicine. I slept. You got to get some sleep, Pete, and that's the bottom line.
That's the big thing, man. You can't be burning the candle at both ends.
I'm working 7 days a week.
I'm aware of that. Well, that's a you problem. I actually got up this morning at 7 and did the morning ritual, which is get the paper, have a banana, have the protein shake. And I got to tell you, Billy, by about 8 o'clock, my girlfriend was like, what are you going to do? And I'm like, I think I'm going to go back to bed for a little bit. So that's actually, I was a little bit tardy today, but I'm here.
So, Pete, you don't need an alarm clock to get up?
No, I set my alarm.
What time you set your alarm for?
Well, normally during the week, I set it for 5. So 5 o'clock in the morning comes really early. 7 is like a treat.
You know what the beautiful thing about teaching at college or high school where I live?
It's 5 minutes away.
It's like 5 minutes from my house, so I can set my alarm for 6:35.
Well, I bet that creates bad behavior. Have you been late yet?
No. Maybe.
Really?
No, I haven't. No.
Wow, good for you.
I set my alarm, but I pop up like toast.
Yeah.
I don't hit the snooze. Like, I get right up.
Yeah. Well, I don't hit it either. I mean, sometimes. The funny thing is my girl used to always say to me, why are you setting your alarm for 4:51 or why are you setting it for 9:21? Because I learned that the snooze is a 9-minute snooze.
It's a 9-minute
so I'm actually setting it for ahead of when I want to get up. I set it for 4:51. It goes off. I hit it. I turn it off. Then at 5 o'clock, I'm supposed to get up. Then you got 5:09 and 5:18. If I'm not up by 5:18, we got problems. Oh, we got big time problems.
So please forgive me the way I sound again today. Hopefully this will
just stay on that side. Don't be getting me sick now.
And you know what? Another thing that's funny too. You go to the wedding or the funeral yesterday, and everybody's got the masks on or whatnot. But I have friends of mine like, yo, you should be home. Like everybody's paranoid. Like if you get sick, it's automatically assumed that you got COVID.
Oh, true. Yeah,
you know what I mean. It's just a cold.
The case. There's a couple things I do want to speak to you about before we get into Eagles, Broncos, and everything that's going on here. Professionally, right? And that's locally. First and foremost, a couple football teams are through in the playoffs. Holy Spirit was the late night game last night, and Holy Spirit went all the way up to Caven Point, Billy. You might as well go to Manhattan and make a left, okay? I mean, you're way the bleep up there, right? And they went up and won and beat Hudson Catholic.
Wow.
So that's a great win for them. Trevor Cohen, who had a big week, by the way, just signed to be a baseball pitcher at Rutgers, but he went up and he had 14 carries for 188 yards. They used the rushing game to win. They broke a 4-game losing streak, and then they won 28-0. So they are through and survive in the playoffs. And trust me, not a lot of people gave them a chance to go all the way up there. You got the
congratulations to them.
I'm telling you, you got the New York City skyline behind them and the Statue of Liberty and all that. And they obviously weren't entering with a lot of momentum, but a great win for them to go up there to Caven Point win. They're not the only ones that win and survive. I was supposed to go over and check out Cedar Creek. I did not make it over there yesterday, but thankfully they beat Somerville 27-0, and they have reached the sectional final. It is a special season for Cedar Creek football. Anybody out there that thinks that old Tim Watson left because he left the cupboard empty is not correct, because James Melody and the Pirate coaches are reaping the benefits of JoJo Bermudez and JC Landicini. And I mean, these guys, and not the least of which, don't forget about, the fact that they're undefeated right now, I mean, and so Somerville came in 8-2, but Cedar Creek is now 11-0. So they're going to host Delsea Regional next Saturday.
Wow.
No lights at Cedar Creek. Jaquan Howard is the third name I was struggling to pull out of the ether. 28 carries, 215 yards. Jaquan Howard was the reason that Cedar Creek won big time yesterday. It's funny, too, because Somerville plays this up-tempo offense. So Somerville really actually dominated time of possession. They ran 38 plays in the first half, and the Pirates only ran 18. If I told you that, if I said Somerville, the Pioneers ran 38 plays, who would you say would be leading at the half?
Cedar Creek, right, or no?
If I said Somerville ran 38 plays and Cedar Creek only ran 18.
18, yeah.
Right.
Right.
But yet it was Cedar Creek who was up 15-0. So that's the thing. I mean, they prepared for it and they were ready to go. So they got Delsea Regional next. And then I haven't even touched on the big one. And this was Friday night. I don't know if you and Brad talked about it yesterday or not, but Ocean City has won again. And this now sets up, God bless you, or a cough, whatever that is. This now sets up, just go have at it, Hoss. Right. This sets up the big meeting that everybody's been looking forward to. Unbeaten Millville will be at home against unbeaten Ocean City.
Wow,
so
big
that's
tilt right there.
That's really going to be a good one.
That's a big tilt. Well, I'll tell you what, we had a lot of sports on yesterday, Pete.
Yeah, as you should.
Great day in football, college football. Of course, the Sixers and Flyers played yesterday. The Flyers.
Do we have to talk about them?
Well,
neither of them
won. We're going to be giving away a pair of Flyers tickets.
Oh, yeah. Well, then we have to talk about them.
609-403-0973 is the text board. You're going to tell us who your favorite Flyer is and why. 609-403-0973 to be eligible to win the Flyers tickets against Calgary on the 16th. It's on Tuesday night.
Right. And I'm going to be going to that game. There we go. Win Flyers tickets. Text the show, 609-403-0973. Let us know who your favorite Flyer is and why. Include your first name and your town.
Yes.
It's going to be really hard for us to get tickets to you if we have no idea who you are.
At the end of the show, we'll pick the winner, and then I'm going to email you the tickets.
There you go. And by the way, Billy, I forgot to mention the one that probably this morning I was like, wait, is that a misprint? The Atlantic City Seagulls scored 251 points last night in their home debut.
What?
Yeah, let's do that again. 251. It's unbelievable. 200. They beat the Hornell Bulls out of New York, but all kinds of league records. The league record was 222 points. They scored 251, right? Everybody scored in this game. The scoreboard wouldn't even have a 2 for the 200, so it only read 51-69.
Trainer scored too?
Pretty much, yeah. The athletic trainer, the ball boy, yes, everybody scored, I mean, they just literally were jacking them up from everywhere.
Wow,
and
I think they didn't miss anything.
Leon Daniels.
What was their shooting percentage for the field? Had to be up in the 90s, right?
I mean, it just no. Well, then also keep in mind that they had
200 points.
The ABA rules, set it up.
You don't even get that in an NBA All-Star game.
If you steal in the backcourt and then you hit a 3-pointer, that 3 is worth 4.
Oh, jeez.
So it's a little Harlem Globetrottery, but they all press because they want to. Well, they all want to force a turnover. Look, the fans loved it. Right? I mean, and it to me,
where was the game played last night?
They play it at the Pleasantville Rec Center. That's where the games are being played now. The Pleasantville Rec Center. Their schedule's out. You can go to accgoals.com, and every time they play, I mean, they're now 1-1, but it's nice to see them come back and. My goodness. I mean, Valentino Thompson's their head coach, no relation. But Valentino said, hey, we wanted to put on a show. 200. Woo! I mean, it basically was like catch, shoot. Listen to the people that scored. Leon Daniels, who played at AC High, had 41 points. Antoine Morgano, Cat Morgano, and Ja James, 37-36, right? Sean Wilson, who played at Pleasantville, 32. And Brandon Alexander, they call him Coop, had 31. Plus, you had Marcus Franklin hitting 2 threes within 10 seconds of each other to break that record, and everybody went nuts. I mean, it's unbelievable. It's the halftime. You want to know what the halftime score was?
Yeah.
114-31.
The NBA All-Star game, they don't even score that.
No, because they don't have the 4-point plays and but and they also don't play that style of basketball. That style of basketball was like trapping and pressing and look, when you get to the NBA playoffs, you and I both know it's a half-court game.
That's right.
There was no half-court game in this scenario. It was run and gun, baby.
Fans got their money's worth.
So let's see here. They go to the road next against the Baltimore Hawks next Saturday. And then if you want to come out and see these guys, they play the New Jersey Knights November 28th. So that's like right after Thanksgiving, I believe.
All right.
If I'm not mistaken. So that's 4:00 at the Pleasantville Rec Center.
And as always, on a Sunday morning here in the locker room with Billy Schweim and Pete Thompson, we have a great show lined up. We have Scott Grayson, 97.3 ESPN.com and Fox 29 News sports anchor. He does his weekly segment with us. And then, of course, we'll hear from the fantasy football guru, Brian Hartley. As you see, Robert Woods tore his ACL.
Did you know that Robert Woods was on my team?
That he's on my team as well.
But wait, in the 97.3 league? Or is he,
obviously right. It can't be that. But
yeah, no, I don't think I have him in the 97.3 league. I think I have him in my CBS league.
Well, I have him in one of my leagues.
So I dropped him like a hot potato, and I picked up Odell Beckham Jr. Even though I already have.
Why would you pick up Odell Beckham?
Just hush up, Buttercup. I already have the other guy, Jefferson or
he's
whatever.
Not going to play. You think anybody's going to pick him up?
Who, Odell?
Yeah.
I picked him up because I need a body. I need somebody.
But he's not playing.
You don't understand. Just pay attention.
He's not playing.
Can I come over there and wring your neck and not get
sick? You don't want to get over here.
I already picked up the other guy, Jefferson or whatever his name is, the backup guy, because there was a question about Odell Beckham Jr. or about Woods last week, and then Woods ended up playing. So I already picked up.
But he did it in practice. He tore his ACL in practice.
Okay. Do you understand the guy that I'm telling you that I already
I don't know why you picked up Odell Beckham when he's not even playing for anybody.
I need it. Yeah. What are you talking about? He's not playing. He just got signed by the Rams.
Oh, I thought, no. Did he really?
Yeah. Geez, are you that dense?
Listen, man, I was sleeping all day yesterday.
Yesterday? This happened like on Thursday. This was the big news.
He was let go. When was he let go?
Wednesday.
And the
on
Rams picked
maybe
him up?
It was Friday.
Are you sure about that?
As God is my witness, Odell Beckham Jr. is on the Rams.
I still would pick him up
and
anyway.
Now that Robert Woods is not playing, there's a good chance that he may have to contribute and play.
He's a nightmare for any team that he goes to.
Exactly. Who, Odell Beckham Jr. is a nightmare? No, Odell Beckham Jr. has lost his luster. But I needed a warm body. I needed somebody. And like I said, I already had the other guy, and I keep blanking on his name. I think it's Jefferson.
609-403-0973 is the text board if you want to win tickets to the Flyers Calgary game that's on the 16th. You'll send us a text message with your answer to
Van Jefferson.
Van
Jefferson, number 12, Van Jefferson. He's 25 years old. Right. He's already been in the system. He's a part of the offense. He's actually in my starting lineup.
Who's your favorite Flyer and why?
Yeah, let's do that again. 609-403-0973. You want me to read it? Yeah. Text the show. You have a chance to win a pair of Flyers tickets here, folks. So text the show, 609-403-0973. We want you to tell us who is your favorite Flyer and why. And the part that Billy keeps forgetting, even though it's right on the screen in front of him, include your first name and your town to win the tickets. You have to tell us your first name and where you're texting from. All right.
All right. The first hour of the locker room is powered by Surety Title. Surety provides comprehensive title insurance protection and professional settlement services for home buyers and sellers, real estate agents, brokers, lenders, home builders, developers, and attorneys to facilitate your real estate purchases. Surety is an industry-wide leader with a team of experts that help you through the entire process, from contract signing to closing, from the shore to center city and every place in between. Surety Title is there for you with 15 office locations in New Jersey and PA. That's Surety Title. For more information, call Surety Title. Please call my good friend Ron Conklin at 856-988-8900. Hey, My Winter Watchdog, this is a great company. Have you heard about New Jersey's premier vacant home management service, My Winter Watchdog? You know those worrisome thoughts that creep into your mind every time you hear of a storm coming and the daunting task of driving down to the shore to check on the house, hours of time on the road. Let My Winter Watchdog be your eyes and ears with their 15-point inspection checklist. They offer a full menu of maintenance improvement services. Owner Debbie McGonigal and her team of property caretakers are professional, licensed, bonded, and insured. So don't let the winter worry you. They'll give your house that lived-in look. That's My Winter Watchdog. Go to mywinterwatchdog.com or give them a call at 267-202-1869. That's 267-202-1869. 888-866-1869. All right, when we return, we'll talk to Scott Grayson. You're listening to The Locker with Billy Schweim, Pete Thompson on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app. All right, we're back here in the locker room with Billy Schweim, Pete Thompson. It's an Eagles Sunday. The Eagles head to Denver to take on the Broncos. And, of course, the last couple weeks, the Eagles been lopsided with their the balance attack is unbalanced. So they're running the ball now more than they ever did the last 2 weeks, Pete.
Sure are. And finally, they got the message. Now, that was Nick Sirianni who got the message. Is Jonathan Gannon got any messages is really what the question is.
Now, Scott Grayson, like last week, Grayson and Mike Gill and you, everybody got me pumped up when they picked the Eagles last week. So I changed my pick and went with the Eagles. I'm not going to do that anymore until they actually show me something.
Don't follow the leader.
So let's go to the Maserati, the Mainline Sports Hotline, and welcome into the locker room. He's the Fox 29 News sports anchor, Scott Grayson. What's up, Scotty?
How you guys doing this Sunday?
I'm under the weather big time.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Oh, my God, I'm dying.
That means Pete's got to carry the show.
So I'm going to ask
as usual.
Grayson, you picked the Eagles last week, and I got
I know
because I believe in trust in everything you say. And when you got me pumped up, I was like, I'm changing my pick.
Well, I saw positives in the offense. I felt like there's been positive trends from, just like you said, running the ball. And look, they're scoring enough points to win. I am so disappointed with this defense, and quite frankly, I'm taking a stance like you now, Billy. I don't know that I could pick them today because I just can't trust this defense. I feel like the offense will again put up some points and enough points to win, but I'm not seeing any reason to believe this defense is going to stop anybody, let alone the high altitude or the air up there in Denver.
We had Mike Reichenbach on here yesterday and talking about the linebacker. That gangrene defense was swarming, and this is like completely the opposite. They play off their
very passive, 5 to 10 yards
right?
off the ball. The pass rush isn't getting home.
Well, and what bothers me too is when you went back and you looked at it, and people have done this throughout the week, and they were blitzing about 30% of the time in the first half, and they gave up 7 points, but they didn't in the second half. Now, I understand part of the reason for that could very well be because Darius Slay was no longer out there on at corner throughout most of the second half. But if something's working, you got to trust the guys that are coming in to let the game plan continue to do the job. And that's some of the stuff. There's a bunch of things that frustrate me right now with Gannon. And the one argument which I will give him if he were to ever make it, which he wouldn't do publicly, is I just don't have enough talented players here right now to do what I want them to do.
And Scott, I watched the press conference with him during the week, and his demeanor, the smile on his face, I don't know if that was it rubbed me the wrong way. It just didn't seem I don't know. Philadelphia fans are, man. It just didn't seem like genuine. You know what I mean?
I agree with you, and yeah, he's not handling it right now like a guy who might be fighting for his job.
Right? Yeah, it didn't come across that way.
And in this town, as he's finding out, things can turn quickly. We're halfway through the season, and people want to run them out. I mean, they're done. And, you're not showing a willingness to change. You're not showing any bit of an ability to modify a game plan in game. And all these things, this fan base, we're passionate, we're knowledgeable, and sometimes we think we're more knowledgeable than we really are. But we like to let you know we know what's going on, and these fans are not stupid. Like, they can see and watch enough football here to know that from all the defense we've gotten to watch over the last couple decades,
right,
this is not what we're used to. And look, if you're going to go down, this city would much rather see you go down by being too aggressive.
Yes.
Blitzing too much and getting beat over the top as a result, and letting these guys at least get there and hit the quarterback.
Yeah.
That didn't even happen last week. One quarterback hit, and it wasn't by the defensive line. Like, come on now. This is not what these fans want to see. This is the kind of game plan they cannot stand to watch week after week. So you got to do something different.
We're talking with Scott Grayson, Fox 29 News. You can follow him on Twitter at @SGrayson, Fox 29. Grayson, and Pete, I don't know if you guys saw this on Twitter during the week. Maybe it's Thursday or Friday. Some vicious, vile comments towards Fletcher Cox. Did you guys see that? I mean, come on, man. It's a football game at the end of the day. The things that whoever that guy said, that's uncalled for.
Yeah, it's obviously somebody had an axe to grind, and here's the problem.
Do you think Cox should have responded?
Fletcher Cox is not the issue. Fletcher Cox is not the issue. Now, is he the Fletcher Cox he was, 5, 6, 7 years ago? No, he's not. But is he still, playing at a high level? I think he is. I think he's doing enough in the middle to allow other guys to make plays. Look, if I'm starting to figure out Gannon's defense a little bit, it's that these defensive linemen are supposed to occupy bodies, and linebackers should fill the holes. if this is really the formula that they want to follow, I do not understand why this is their defensive coordinator, because Howie Roseman pays no less attention to any position on the field than linebacker. So you're already doomed to fail with this scheme, and Fletcher Cox is not the problem. I did see that. I also saw Darius Slay come right to his defense.
Yeah, he did. I like that.
And so maybe it's something that'll bring these guys together a little bit. Obviously one guy does not speak for the fan base. I think there's a lot of fans who do not speak at all for or feel the way that guy did. Look, is Fletcher Cox doing what he did before? Like I said, no, he's not. Javon Hargrave started out doing things that Fletcher Cox was doing because Fletcher Cox was occupying two guys at once. Now, I think that's starting to change, and hopefully Fletcher Cox can get home. Look, Denver is they're banged up on the offensive line. There's an opportunity today to go out and get after Teddy Bridgewater. Whether or not Gannon will take it or these guys will be able to get there, if you're not up, the problem is not the defensive line. It is the corners and the scheme out there. They're giving 8 to 10 yards of cushion. So these quarterbacks drop back, take their 3 steps, release the ball. There's a guy open. There's never going to be an opportunity to get there in that amount of time. And so you can't blame the defensive line.
Scott Grayson with us on the Maserati the Main Line Hotline. Scott, what did you think of Didinger's comments, if you saw what he said after the game, too, about the fact that the roadmap to beating the Chargers was laid out for you, how they'd lost to the Patriots and how they'd lost the week before they came in to play? Like, it was, Justin Herbert set up in one defense, then changed to something else. It's like the Eagles just set up in one defense and then stayed in that defense. And like you said, he picked them apart. There was no disguising. There was no subterfuge or confusion at all. And I was at the game. Literally, that game, as you know, came down to that final drive and the inability for the defense to get the Chargers off the field. The defense couldn't make a stop in that final drive when they needed to. It was wet. When the Eagles scored with 6 minutes to go, my father leaned over to me and said, "That's too early." And he was right.
You know what? I didn't mind it because I felt like, 6 minutes, they left enough time to, no matter what the Chargers are going to do to try to get the ball back. I thought that the Chargers might go down and score, but I thought they'd do it faster. And frankly, I felt like that was the game where whoever had the ball last was going to score. And I thought the Eagles might get another chance just to be able to try to get down there and kick a field goal. And that didn't happen. And obviously they didn't get the ball back. And it's a huge, huge problem for that defense. And look, people want to point out on the other side of the ball, Dallas Goedert's not getting enough touches. Devontae Smith's not getting enough touches with the way he played last week. You're not getting Quez Watkins enough touches. Well, the problem is not that they're not dispersing the ball well. It's because the other team has the ball for more than half the game. You're not getting to run enough plays on offense, and that's totally the fault of the defense not getting the ball back. And I will say that Nick Sirianni's getting frustrated too, although he's not really saying it publicly a lot, that his defense can't get a takeaway. They can't get their offense a short field. They can't get an opportunity for a big momentum change like a turnover gives you. And that's another problem with this defense. And you talked about disguising. So I'll go back to where you asked the question. I mean, Ray Didinger is awesome. Love him. It certainly knows the game so well, has covered it for decades. And he's right. But I would go even further and say, I don't know that they've ever disguised their defense this season. Have you seen anything that looked like a disguise? I haven't.
That's true. Right. And thus 5 quarterbacks are 80% or higher. Right.
Yeah.
And today we could see a 6th.
This is historically bad. You're right. We could today because the receivers out there for Denver are plenty good enough to be able to go out and catch these passes that are 8 to 10, 12, 15 yards down the field because we're playing off, 20 yards. It's like, it is so tough to watch. When you get a good offensive drive together, there is nothing more backbreaking for the opposing defense that just gave up the points than to get 3 and out from their offense and the Eagles get the ball back. That has rarely happened this year. So you can never continue to build on a team. While that offense is driving, what's the defense doing? They're on the sidelines making adjustments because they've got 10 minutes to do so. Watch film, watch the iPads. Co-coordinators can come over and make a little bit of changes to what they're doing. You get a 3 and out, you got no time to barely get a drink of water, let alone go back out on the field and play defense. And this defense for the Eagles is it's atrociously bad. It's been half the season. Jonathan Gannon's had enough time to show me that he can do the job. And, there's a saying out there that people eventually get promoted to the point of ineffective, or inability to perform. I would say Jonathan Gannon might have reached that point at this job. Now, you learn things. Maybe Gannon will learn something, but I haven't seen that he's going to learn anything this season. It would have to happen now in the offseason.
Yeah, the Eagles have been good on the road. Obviously, all their wins have come on the road so far, but going to Denver is a different thing.
By the way, Pete, it's not just me. I'm not the jinx now because you got a loss.
That's true, and I had my Harold Carmichael jersey on, too. I was a Joe fan, man. I was all eagled up.
He's 0 for 1, so I don't feel so bad.
And I'm going to the Saints game. If I fall to 0-2, I guess I'm not allowed to go again. But we're talking about the Eagles and the Broncos today, 4:25 right here on 97.3 ESPN. Pregame show starts at 3. And, the Broncos are 23rd in run defense, Scott. There is a chance that the Eagles just stick with that game plan. The best way to keep the Broncos offense off the field is long, sustained drives, right?
Absolutely. And that is something that they've shown they can do lately. That is where I would finally say, hey, look, I'm seeing Nick Sirianni growing a little bit and understanding. And for weeks, what's the identity of this team? I mean, what was the identity of this offense? We couldn't even figure that out. Well, now I feel like we're getting to answer that question a little bit. And that, look, this offensive line, I've been saying that these guys love to run block. They do it well. We've seen that now the last 2 weeks. There's no reason to stop doing that. Now, you don't need to run the ball 40 times to keep me happy. I mean, just showing a dedication to go to it, I'm fine with some play action passes. I'm fine with doing something off of that. But you've got to continually, feed the beast, if you will, by continuing to let Boston Scott and Jordan Matthews Jordan Howard, get some, that was a Freudian slip, continue to get those touches. And I love the way Howard wears down a defense. I just love the way that guy runs.
He had 17 rushes for 71 yards, a 4.2 average. And of course, they ran the ball 39 times compared to only 17 attempts by the air. So, and that's the second week in a row. And if you look at the Patriots, that was their recipe to beat the Chargers too. They ran the ball. They only threw the ball 17 times in the game that the Patriots beat the Chargers. And then they ran the ball like 38.
And the Ravens were able to move the ball before that too. I mean, look, they lost to the Patriots, they lost to the Ravens, and then the Eagles. That was the point I thought that Ray Diddy made that was so great, was you had 2 weeks worth of film to look at. What the hell are you looking at?
So, Grayson, let me ask you a question. Is this a must-win today? Because let's face it. I mean, I think this is a must-win today. You got to win it. If you have any chance of making the playoffs, I think you got to win this game today.
If that's what your goal is, and I know some fans out there would have different alternatives on what the goal is, but if the goal is to get in the playoffs, look, that 7th spot is very much there for the taking.
Right.
The teams ahead of you own the tiebreaker over. So I would agree with you in the sense that if your goal is to make the playoffs, you're likely going to win a lot of games against some weak teams down the rest of the season. This is the toughest game remaining in my mind, other than Dallas. This is a game where if you want to get that 7 seed, you want to try to get some of these young guys some playoff experience. Yeah, go out and win in Denver. That would be big.
All right, Scotty, give us your pick for today's game.
I'm going to take. Until this team does otherwise, and I see this defense make adjustments. I think it's going to be a very close game. I think it'll be a very entertaining game. But I'm going to take Denver to win. Let's go 27-24.
Ooh, you almost matched my pick again.
I think the
Pete, it's getting scary if we're really starting to think the same way.
We are, buddy.
Hey, I think the line's down to 1.
It moved?
I think it moved a little bit. Yeah, my William Hill. I should have said that. But yeah, it moved. And you know what? That's a weird thing.
Yeah, it's either 1 or 1.5, depending on where you're looking. Yeah.
So what's it tell you? The Eagles only.
It tells you that the odds makers think it's a pick'em, is what they think. Look,
the late money coming in is starting to move it that way. So obviously, a lot of the late bettors jumping in, like the Eagles.
All right. You can follow Scott Grayson on Twitter at @SGrayson, Fox29. Of course, every Monday with Mike Gill, the Sports Bash for Grayson's Grades. And he also can read it on 97.3 ESPN.com. Check him out tonight on Sports Sunday, Fox 29 News. Scott Grayson, thanks a lot.
All right. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
Take care, bud.
There he is, Scott Grayson on the Maserati, the Mainline Sports Hotline. I want to remind people the first hour of the locker room is powered by Surety Title. Surety provides comprehensive title insurance protection, professional settlement services for home buyers, sellers, real estate agents, brokers, lenders, home builders, developers, and attorneys to facilitate your real estate purchases. Surety is an industry-wide leader with a team of experts that help you through the entire process, from contract signing to closing, for the shortest center city and every place in between. Surety Title is there for you. 15 office locations in New Jersey and PA. That's Surety Title. For more information, call my good friend Ron Conklin at 856-988-8900. Friends, let me tell you about Maserati of the Main Line, located just minutes from downtown Philadelphia. They offer a client-focused car buying experience designed to exceed all expectations and invite you to stop and see the area's largest selection of new Maseratis, including the sporty Ghibli midsize sedan or the class-leading Levante, the only SUV worthy of being called a Maserati. Maserati of the Main Line also leads the nation in certified pre-owned sales and has the highest quality like new Maseratis available on the market. Your experience is not at the point of a sale, as Maserati of the Main Line offers free pickup and delivery for scheduled service appointments and provides a new Maserati loaner car. So be audacious. Call my good friend Michael Pileggi at Maserati of the Main Line today at 484-804-4800. That's 484-804-4800, or visit them online anytime at motml.com. Remind people that the locker room in Blitz's Market wants to discount your Eagles game day meal. During the Eagles season, on game day, get an Italian hoagie for just $5 when you mention the locker room. Get down to Blitz's all season long at 21st and Asbury Avenue in Ocean City. Blitz's now has online ordering at blitzesmarkets.com, or give them a call at 609-399-9983. Blitz's Market is home of the dill pickle hoagie. It's really a big dill. All right, when we return.
Hey, wait a second before you do that. Don't forget that you can win Flyers tickets. Text the show 609-403-0973. We've got a pair of tickets to give away to the Flyers Calgary game on Tuesday. You must be able to go to the game on Tuesday night. It's a Hall of Fame night, Flyers Ring of Honor night. They're putting in Rick Tocchet and Paul Holmgren in the team's Ring of Honor or team's Hall of Fame. 609-403-0973. Let us know who your favorite Flyer is and why. Include your first name and town if you want to win the tickets. All right. First hour of the locker room rolls on after this. You're listening to the locker room. I am Pete Thompson. The coffee boy on the other side is Billy Schweim. We'll be back after this.
All right, we're back here in the locker room. Billy Schweim, Pete Thompson, 97.3 ESPN. Sunday Eagles game. Broncos today at 4:25.
We made an executive decision not to play the Eagles fight song today.
Yes.
We played the heck out of it last week. It didn't help.
By the way, so I did bring this up when we were talking to Grayson. You were breaking my stones about being 0-3.
Yeah, I'm 0-1, but thankfully I get to go again. I'm going to the Saints game next week. In fact, I won't be here, by the way, in case you didn't know that already.
We already got you. We got somebody.
You got somebody pinch hitting?
Hopefully.
All right.
609-403-0973 is the what, Pete?
That's our text message board. We've got a mix of texts coming in. Number one, you definitely want to text in to win some Flyers tickets. You text the show 609-403-0973 and let us know who is your favorite Flyer and why. Include your first name and your town to win the tickets. And that's exactly what Justin did from Mays Landing. He said Eric Lindros, number 88, favorite Flyer ever. He was big, fast, could handle the puck, could score. He could do everything. Lindros started the era of the big forwards that could do it all. Couldn't agree more, Justin. He was a game changer. And then Mike in Galloway says currently TK. He has that tough Philly spirit. Whenever anything gets punchy on the ice, he's usually close by. TK is the ultimate yapper, isn't he, Billy?
Well, I'll tell you what, I saw him jump in like Claude. It was against the I forget who it was against. Claude Giroux knocks. I guess it was against Toronto, and Claude Giroux was yapping at somebody. He just came right in the middle of it. You know, I like that.
And I love that he's vertically challenged. He still gets up in the middle of it.
Reminds me of Kenny Linsman.
Yep, the rat, the ultimate yapper. Or you know who was a really good talker? That guy Keith Jones. There's another two texts about the football game since we're talking Eagles Broncos here for another hour too. PT, in about 15 years from now, when you and Billy do a show about a Mount Rushmore of great Eagles defensive coaches, I'm going to see Buddy, Carson, Johnson, and Gannon.
Absolutely.
LOL, just kidding. No, he has to go. I hope we can outscore them today. Go Birds, Joe Datillo. Joe says, yeah, it's not going to be a defensive win. It's going to, maybe we'll get that turnover, though, that Grayson talked about. That'd be nice. A little turnover, a little short field. Dan from EHT chimes in. The Eagles running backs hardly get to the second level. And when they do, they're taken down by a single tackler. It's the same as last year. They need some 15-yard gashes. I guess Scott's the only option, but it's like, Sproles a lot of the time couldn't break through the line to get started. Well, the new Sproles was Miles Sanders, and they didn't use him at all, right? I mean, Jordan Howard is at least, look, they're committed to the run. I think they need to run the football to win this game today if they're going to have a chance. Like, keep the Denver offense off the field and keep your own defense off the field, quite frankly.
So if you look at the offensive scoring from last week or the stats, Devontae Smith had 5 receptions for 116 yards.
He could have a big game today. They're banged up in the secondary. There's two people I think.
What about Quez Watkins? Only two attempts, and he only had 9 yards. I mean, Quez Watkins better than that.
I know, but one of the they went for him the one time, and he didn't connect. You know, Quez is their home run play. Right. Okay, that if they're going for him, they're going deep. I think that Dallas Goedert and I think Devontae Smith could be two difference makers in the football game today. You know, those are mismatches in my opinion. I certainly and Gil, I texted him during the break. His pick, by the way, is Eagles 28, Denver 25. And he's picking the Eagles to win this one, and he has game balls as he always does. Devontae Smith is his offensive game ball, and Darius Slay, he thinks,
what's he saying?
is going to make the play. 28-25. I know you like to write it down in your notebook there. 28-25. He's got the Eagles winning the game.
I'm surprised.
I do not have the Eagles winning the game. But
I am shocked Mike Gill picks the Eagles today.
Well, you never know. I mean, look, Gill, he has guests on all week. We only have guests on 1 or 2 days.
By the way,
he gets to absorb a lot of opinions. He had my pal on Nick Ferguson. You know who Nick Ferguson is?
No.
He played D-back. He played in the defense for the Broncos back in the day, and now he's on the radio out there and does a great job out there. And he came in to give the outside view. He was a former safety. Played at Georgia Tech in college.
He played for Paul Johnson.
For Georgia Tech?
Yeah, because that's where my coach. He coached me at Lees McRae, and then he went to Navy, and then he went to Georgia Tech. I've had Paul Johnson on the show before.
I'm trying to see what years he played at Georgia Tech, but it doesn't necessarily say that.
I bet you Paul was there for like 10, 12 years, maybe even.
By the way, did you see Kansas knock off Texas?
How about that?
How about that?
Baylor.
Do you know that I know that coach? The guy that's the coach of Kansas, which is never like, hey, I'm coaching in Kansas. Basketball? No. Well, I don't want to talk to you, right? But the guy's name is Lance Leipold, and he used to coach at Nebraska Omaha. It was a Division II school, and he was like their O coordinator and some other things. And then he went to Buffalo. I mean, he's been in these outposts, right? Buffalo is an outpost, but you lead Buffalo to wins, and then maybe you get the Kansas job. And then now he's on the map from everybody because they shocked the world last night and beat Texas. I mean, did you see the final score, though?
No, I did not.
It was like 57-56.
There's some really good games.
It was ridiculous.
Penn State, Michigan was a good game. I didn't get
right. And who won that one?
Michigan won.
That is correct.
That's right.
Yeah.
Hey, 609-403-0973 is the text.
Rutgers won again. They're almost bowl eligible.
We're giving away a pair of Flyers tickets to Tuesday night's game against Calgary, the Flames, and Johnny Gaudreau coming into town.
Oh, my buddy knows Johnny Gaudreau. You know who my buddy is. His name is Hunter Brody. He used to work here. Yeah.
I know his father, Guy.
He's very personal with Johnny Gaudreau. That's his boy. They text each other and do podcasts together and all those kind of things.
609-403-0973 is the text board number. First hour of the locker room was powered by Surety Title. Surety provides comprehensive title insurance protection and professional settlement services for home buyers and sellers, real estate agents, brokers, lenders, home builders, developers, and attorneys to facilitate your real estate purchases. Surety Title, from the shortest center city and every place in between. Surety Title is there for you with 15 office locations in New Jersey and PA. That's Surety Title. For more information, call my good friend Ron Conklin at 856-988-8900. Just about everybody in our area has heard about the Jersey Man and Philly Man magazine run by ex-Philadelphia tight end Ken Dunnick. But were you aware of their private business network they call the Legacy Club? Every month they hold private events at upscale locations in Philadelphia and South Jersey that attract over 200 top business people. If you have an interest in attending one of these events and sees a fit for your business, send an email to ken@jerseymanmagazine.com or give them a call at 856-912-4007 for more information. All right, when we return, we'll wrap up the first hour of the locker room with Billy Schweim, Pete Thompson, right here on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app. right, PT, we're back here in the locker room in the studio. Pete's on the other side, staying far away from yours truly.
That's right.
But we're making it through today.
Don't be coughing all over that mouse there.
No, I'm not actually. I'm not coughing that much today, just a little bit. Listen, hey Pete, we had Mike Reichenbach on yesterday, and he told some great stories, but one is worth repeating. Buddy Ryan got, his gangrene defense was just a pleasure to watch. We used to love that toughness of that gangrene defense. But you know what, Buddy's method of getting those guys to all play together, unite them to hate him.
Oh yeah, yeah. Mike Keenan was like that too.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So what would Buddy do? What do you have a cough drop in?
Yeah, I do.
Do you?
I'm sorry you can hear it. Hey Pete, man, I'm struggling, dude.
Sorry,
Listen,
I was like,
so maybe Jonathan Gannon could get the people to hate him, the guys that hate him.
All the town does.
Town's not good
if the fan base was able to unite, no, I don't know. That's not a bad point. So
did you see that? Did you see the press conference with him?
With Gannon?
Yeah. What did you make of that? I mean, did you see his face?
Sometimes I think the smirk, remember, a smile isn't always a smile.
It smile came across like he knows more. Like smile. Like
haven't you ever heard
this phrase? Let them eat cake.
Right?
You know what I mean? Like,
well, no, the one I'm thinking of is the Christians to the Lions. Right? Remember way back in the, that's essentially what happens each week now. He is basically sitting down in that chair and going, okay, boys, bring it on. Like, what are you going to ask me this week? What are you going to challenge me with? And press conferences can be very adversarial. Remember, when Nick Sirianni started, we thought he failed the press conference and he was so hokey and unprepared and stupid and all that. But he's turned out to be like he's starting to listen to the voice.
And only in Philadelphia does a fan throw a bouquet of flowers at the head coach.
Oh, yeah, that lit him up. That got him real upset.
On, man. Now, I don't know how you feel about that.
I don't think you should throw an object at somebody on the field or the court or the ice ever. That drives me crazy.
That being said,
it was a very Philly thing to do.
It was a bouquet of flowers,
right? Because you talked about the roots and the flowers and all that stuff.
When performers are on the stage, people throw flowers at them.
Yeah, but that's different. They're throwing it up. They're not throwing it down. Trust me when I say that these flowers to them seemed more like a projectile and less like an offering.
How do you know that wasn't a fan that just really approves of what he's doing?
Did it look like it was a fan that approved of what he was doing?
Looks can be deceiving, Pete.
Want to do this for another hour? Are you going to make it?
Yeah, I'll make it. But you're gonna have to put it right on my tape to tape.
All right, buddy. I'll help you out.
First hour of the locker room is in the books. Hour 2 is ahead of us. Of course, we'll talk with the fantasy football guru Brian Hartley. I got a lot of moves to make, Pete, on my fantasy team.
You're terrible.
Yeah,
I'm not afraid to tell you.
I'm doing well in one.
What am I, like 7-1 or 8-1? I'm kicking your butt.
Right, but in the other league, I'm like 7-2, so or whatever, 7-3. So.
All right, fine.
All right. Hour 2 is ahead of us. It's the locker room with Billy Schweim, Pete Thompson, right here on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN mobile app. Oh, we're back here in the locker room with Billy Schweim, Pete Thompson on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN mobile app. It's the Eagles-Broncos. It's Sunday. It's game day here in the locker room. We're having a lot of fun talking. We heard from Scott Grayson in the first hour. We'll hear from the fantasy football guru in the second hour, right in about 15 minutes. And, of course, Pete Thompson's in the house.
I am in the house. I'm here. I'm trying to nurse you through it. I understand you're fighting your cold. Just don't give it to me. I've had enough issues already this school year so far. So please do not give that to me. Listen, this is what I know, Billy. I think this is a winnable game. I don't have them winning the game, but I think that Devontae Smith may have a big game. Now, Gil loves Devontae Smith because he's picked him for the game balls twice. I've seen other people recognize that Devontae Smith could have a big game because the Broncos secondary can be suspect at times. And everything about Smith. It's not
about the Eagles offense. It's about the Eagles defense.
Well, no. I think that's where you're wrong. I think it's about the Eagles offense from the perspective of the longer you keep the offense on the field, the less you have to have the defense out there. Now, that bird's eye view thing I send you from the Eagles each week. Yeah. That's very pro Eagles. Like you're never going to it's written by the Eagles PR department. So everything is spun in a way to focus on the Eagles. That said, you know who is number 3 in the NFL in 20-plus yard receptions? Devontae Smith, right? Jamar Chase has 11. This is since week 4. Cooper Kupp has 10, and then Devontae Smith has 9. So, he also is in 4th place in receiving average for the NFC wide receivers. Deebo Samuel still has a receiving average of 18.0. This one could be a little misleading, this stat. CeeDee Lamb, 15.4. DK Metcalf, 14.9. But look, I think Devontae Smith, I don't know, did you, I know you're a newspaper guy. Did you read the nice piece that Jeff McClain did on Devontae Smith?
No, I did not.
He talks about the fact that every day Devontae Smith gets up at 5:30. He never hits the snooze button, not even once.
He pops up like
from
toast,
5:30 to 6 o'clock, boom, he's in the car. It takes a half hour to get from bed to car, and he's the first player at the NovaCare complex. Sometimes Jalen Hurts gets there, but more often than not, Devontae Smith, first player in. That's pretty awesome for a guy that's 23 years old. You know what I mean?
Very awesome.
He is not being irresponsible. He's committed to being a professional. He's wise beyond his years. 5 passes, 116 yards, and a touchdown. And, Hurts missed him. He would have had 6.
So that's a great segue into what I'm going to ask you about next, because yesterday on the program, we talked in depth about Jalen Hurts, if he's the man or not. If you look at his statistics, he's almost thrown for 2,000 yards, 11 TDs, 4 interceptions. His completion percentage is a little low, but not horrible at 61.5, and his quarterback rating is 90. He's technically a rookie. Is he the guy to take this team?
Right. It's interesting that, where I stand on Jalen Hurts. I think that Jalen Hurts is a capable, first of all, he's a great person.
He's got some great attributes.
He's a great person, but I don't think he's going to be the guy. Is he the guy right now? Yes, but I don't know that he's going to be the guy.
Well, he leads the league in first downs. Made first downs. You know that, right?
Yes. I also think that he's a guy that, to me, he's like the best of the second tier, right? And quarterback is so valued in this league that you take what you can get, because there's so many people out there that are not the guy. You know what I'm saying?
See, I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced. I still think that he can lead this team to be a good caliber playoff team. Can he win the big one? I don't know, but I think he's got all the great attributes that you want in a quarterback.
Well, I do know this. After the Chargers game, somebody took a shot at Hurts, saying that he was the reason they lost, and that compelled Merrill Reese, of all people, to call into the postgame show and get angry. Look, you can blame a lot of people. You can't blame Jalen Hurts for the loss to the Chargers. I think there's a lot of people you can line up, and Jalen Hurts is not one of them.
Here's the thing. He runs a lot. Obviously, he makes a lot of plays with his legs, and in this league, NFL stands for not for long. If you're running the ball, you're going to take shots, and the more shots you take, inevitably you're going to get hurt.
Look through teams that historically have not had the guy, though, right? It's only been 2 years since Denver spent that draft pick on Drew Lock. 3 years before that, they went for Paxton Lynch. 4 years before that, they went for Brock Osweiler. That was 2 years after they put a first rounder on Tim Tebow. Okay.
Yeah, but Jalen Hurts is better than all those guys.
That's my point. I'm making a point for you for him. Okay. Look at the Vikings, right? The Vikings can't seem to find a quarterback as they continue to cycle through. The Panthers, Teddy Bridgewater, the quarterback they're going to go up against today, is like one of those also guys, right? But I'm sorry, my fear today on the game is that the Eagles defense is so vanilla, so predictable, and so passive. I'd like to say another word that starts with P, but it's inappropriate. They're so weak,
soft,
that I think that they're going to put Teddy Bridgewater up into that 80%. I'm going to say that right here. I'm going to bang the console right here, right now on the radio, that Teddy Bridgewater is going to pass for over 80%, and that's going to be the straw that breaks the camel's back and run Gannon out of his job. Because if you've let 5 guys do it already,
there's no way Gannon's going to be run out of this job anytime soon.
Why not?
There's no way they're going to make a change in the middle of the season.
Absolutely. Why not? They fired people before. They fired Juan Castillo. And do you know, I heard somebody talking during the week. Remember when Juan Castillo, Andy Reid thought it was a good idea for Juan Castillo to take over as the D coordinator?
Yeah.
And remember how horrible he was at it?
Yeah.
Do you know that all Juan Castillo's defensive ranks, almost all of them rank higher than Jonathan Gannon right now?
I can imagine that.
I mean, Juan Castillo had no clue what he was doing, and he was still a better coach than this moron that's in there right now.
Hey, the locker room at Blitz's Market want to discount your Eagles game day meal during the Eagles season on game day, which is today. Get down to Blitz's Market for a $5 hoagie. When you mention the locker room, get down to Blitz's Market all season long, 21st and Asbury in Ocean City, New Jersey. Blitz's now has online ordering at blitzesmarkets.com or call them at 609-399-9983. Blitz's is home of the dill pickle hoagie. It's really a big deal. And also, we're giving away tickets today to the Flyers. Let's not forget that. 609-403-0973 is the text board. Pete, tell the people what they need to do.
Yeah, if you want to win a pair of Flyers tickets to Tuesday night's game, it's this Tuesday. You have to be able to go to the game.
Calgary
Game starts
Flames.
at 7, and it's Flyers Ring of Honor night. They're putting 2 guys into the Flyers Hall of Fame. One of them is Rick Tocchet. The other is Paul Holmgren. So both those guys are going in a pregame ceremony. You can have some sweet seats just by texting the show 609-403-0973. 609-403-0973. You have to let us know who your favorite Flyer is and why. And please include your first name and your town to win the tickets.
We'll
so
pick
we
it,
can
pick
reach
it at
out
the end of the show, and I'll get email you the tickets. By the way, I think the tickets, they're in section 100. I think they're in row 6.
Yeah, man. Row 6. Those are some, that's right. No joke. Here's Joe from Little Egg. He says Carter Hart, everyone gets down on him for the past seasons, but he still grinds and perseveres. And hey, Carter Hart was the reason they won the other night.
609-403-0973. 609-403-0973. Tickets are courtesy of Dr. Dominic Mariani at Pennsauken Spine and Rehab. 609-403-0973. I want to thank Dr. Dom for donating the tickets to our listeners.
Did you watch any of that? The one in Carolina? That was a heck of a win.
No, that was a great. And 39 saves for Carter Hart.
Yes.
Is that unbelievable?
Now, last night.
Stood on his head.
Last night, they were not good. When they fell down 2-0, I stopped watching. I switched over to The Mandalorian.
I took the PM medicine, and I was like, I was in bed at like 6:30 yesterday.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, and I was taking PM, like the PM, that makes you tired. So I kept falling asleep. I woke up, it was 2-0. I went back to the Sixers, and I fell back to sleep again.
PM, that's Prime Minister, right? Sure.
609-403-0973 is the text board if you want to win tickets, a pair of tickets to the Calgary Flames on Tuesday night. The Tocchet and Paul Holmgren. So the Paul Holmgren, Rick Tocchet, 2 tough stud.
I have a hard time separating Holmgren, the player,
who was
from
a better goal
Holmgren,
scorer.
the GM.
Who was a better goal scorer?
Well, that's a tough one.
Those guys are cut out of the same mold.
Yeah, I would probably say that Tockett was the better goal scorer, but Holmgren had the better hands.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Is that a good
I
assessment?
think that's very good.
And I'll also say this: I've been around Rick Tockett. He's never really scared me. Paul Holmgren really scared the bleep out of me once.
Yeah, no, Tockett. I told you the story where we were on the ice in the igloo in Pittsburgh, and he started I was skating with practice with the guys, and he started hitting me. He started he dropped the glove, really started hitting me. I'm like, what are you doing? And he pants me somehow, dragged me around the rink with my suspenders.
Well, they all knew that you were the rookie out there, so they just started.
I thought I was doing pretty well until that. They separate the men from the boys. 609-403-0973 is the text board number. Include your name, your town, and who's your favorite flyer and why. 609-403-0973. I want to remind people the second hour of the locker room is brought to you by the Great Bay Country Club, where it's not just golf, it's fun. By the way, Peter, you're still reveling in your victory over me?
I am. There's some people out there that said that we didn't talk about it enough, and I told them that you tried to.
We talked about it all day yesterday.
Yeah, well, my people at Golf Specific Fitness, Aaron and Kevin, my two guys over there in Summers Point, they're like, that was the first time, because we
talked about it all last Sunday.
I didn't play in advance, or I didn't go to the trainer in advance because I didn't want to be sore for the round, right? And then I also got to play down at Union League National last week. So I haven't seen these guys in a couple weeks. So when I saw them face to face, I said, "Oh yeah, I beat them." And then I talked about how you quit after 13.
Oh, by the way, Pete, did I tell you about? I took the.
You said you got your foot analyzed or something.
Yeah, it was the gout. I couldn't even walk.
Oh, gout. That's right.
I couldn't even walk.
Right.
So
I knew it was something like that.
But I'm not making any excuses.
By the way, my girlfriend says, "Dear Billy, please do not get my husband sick. Thank you.
Geez.
Love, Susan."
I don't know, Susan.
Oh, P.S. Go Birds.
Make Great Bay Country Club your club. Great Bay's award-winning private golf club where you're greeted by name. It's open a 3-hour and 58-minute round. You can play on their 18-hole championship golf course, enjoy fine dining experience, lively atmosphere in the pub. There's always a full calendar of golf and social events throughout the season to appeal to everyone. For more information, go to greatbay.com or give them a call at 609-927-5071. Great Bay Country Club in Summers Point, New Jersey. See why it's always, always a great day at Great Bay. When you get down there, say hello to Radio Ron Ralston for me. And by the way, their food is excellent down there.
Oh, man, I was really impressed. And again, I didn't go too fancy because when you're out on the golf course, you don't have time to, I just basically went real simple. But the pub chips that they have, they basically have deep fried chips is the secret. Right. They're unbelievable.
Have you heard of My Winter Watchdog?
There
you go. My Winter Watchdog is New Jersey's premier vacant home management service. My Winter Watchdog, those worrisome thoughts that creep into your mind every time you hear of a storm coming and a daunting task of driving down to the shore to check on the house, hours of time on the road. Let My Winter Watchdog be your eyes and ears with their 15-point inspection checklist. They offer a full menu of maintenance and improvement services. Owner Debbie McGonigal and her team of property caretakers are professional, licensed, bonded, and insured. So don't let the winter worry you. They'll give your house that lived-in look. That's My Winter Watchdog. Go to mywinterwatchdog.com or call them at 267-202-1869. That's 267-202-1869. Or give Debbie an email, debbie@mywinterwatchdog.com. All right, when we return, it's the fantasy football guru, Brian Hartley. You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schweim, Pete Thompson on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app. We're back in the locker room. Billy Schweim, Pete Thompson, 97.3 ESPN. Pete, in one league, I'm 5-4 in my fantasy leagues. One league, I'm 5-4 in Playland, which I'm with the guru, Brian Hartley. I'm 3-6. And then, of course, the ESPN league, I'm 2-7.
The ESPN league is my best league. What am I now? 8-1 in that league.
Mr. Invincible.
Yeah. No, Mr. Incredible. I don't know why you always mess that up. And then in the other league, I was 0-5, and I've won 4 in a row.
Wow.
I am red hot, baby. And that's because I've been listening to our fantasy guru, Brian Hartley.
So without any further ado, let's go to the Maserati the Mainline Sports Hotline.
What's the name of it again?
Maserati the Mainline Sports Hotline. And welcome in the Fantasy Football Guru is brought to you by Stella Exteriors. They've been providing professional roofing and siding at affordable prices since 1996. Did you know that only 2% of roofing contractors qualify as a GAF Master Elite installer? So if you do the math, choosing Stella Exteriors takes 98% of the worry out. That's Stella Exteriors, 636 West Avenue in Ocean City, New Jersey. Give them a call at 609-399-1010. That's 609-399-1010. And now let's go to the fantasy. He's my fantasy football guru and yours, Brian Hartley. What's up, guru?
Good morning, guys. Today is Sunday, right?
That is correct.
Billy, you sound like Monday after an Eagles game, so I thought maybe I got the days wrong or something here.
Nah, I tell you what, my little doopy-doo has been sick all week, and, of course, she sneaks out of bed, comes into bed with us, and I caught it.
Yeah, that's not a fun thing. We had same thing, not necessarily a cold. We had a little stomach bug with one of ours on Thursday and Friday. It wasn't fun.
Ooh, that's
all over the place. And, that's never fun cleaning that stuff up.
No, it never is. No, Guru, you got to watch what you tell me. You give me advice, but it's backfiring on me. I think you're doing it on purpose.
Well, that might be in our Playland League. I may not want to give you the best advice. I got to give advice to the listeners, but for you, it's a little different.
I noticed that. I'm like, you know what? How come it's not working for me? Guru. So, Guru, you're in a tough spot today because you're a big Broncos fan, and then also you love the Eagles. So, what are you doing?
I am, yeah. It's a tough game, but I got to be honest with you today. I know the Eagles fans are not going to be that happy to hear it, but I'm rooting for the Broncos today for a couple different reasons. The Broncos are in the thick of a division that is close. I mean, do I really think they have a chance at winning it? No, I think Oakland and Kansas City, are definitely the better teams. But hey, I can hold out hope. The Eagles, it's just pretty much over. And I really want the Eagles to get those better draft picks. That Miami win the other day just killed me. I couldn't believe they pulled that game out. That is just typical Eagles. But, I'm hoping the Eagles can get 3 of those top 10, top 15 picks so that we can watch Howie screw it all up again.
Speaking of Howie, how about Thursday night? He's up in Pittsburgh with his binoculars on in the booth watching Pickett from Pitt and the other guy from North Carolina. I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah, he'll end up taking somebody we haven't even thought of. I always love every year when they put up the picks on the board, Mel Kiper and those guys. Everybody gets on there and they say, oh, here's our top guys, and then they just pick someone else. Right. And they're like scrambling to get the video going of the guy, like, they can't believe what just happened. It's, it never fails. But, hey, at least if he gets 3 picks, maybe we'll get one of them right.
Well, being in the fantasy football league, you're like a general manager with picking the teams. And, I'll tell you what, this is 2 years in a row that I've been devastated by injury. And, I'll tell you what, it kind of takes the fun out of it. There's so many guys that I have, both last year and this year, injured. You have to deal with injuries.
Yeah, it's really been crazy the last few weeks, especially in the middle of the buys. Earlier in the season, you had a couple guys get banged up, but it seems like now that we're really in the thick of the bye weeks, you're having these guys also get injured. You got the COVID issues last week with Rodgers. You got Roethlisberger this week. You got Kamara out this week. It is just, it's one of those things that you really got to look at that waiver wire every single week and maybe make a decision and pick a guy up for 1 week just to try to get by.
So Guru, when you go in you're looking at the leagues, right, in the ESPN thing that we do, and you see the players, and when you hit the players, do you just pick up the first? Like, what's your philosophy? Do you look like, for instance, I'm looking at top available players overall. Teddy Bridgewater's up there right now. Brissett is up there. Mike Rudolph is up there. What do you do?
They are basically putting those rankings as far as stats so far this season, which obviously can be deceiving. A guy like Bridgewater, hey, he had a nice little game last week, but they started off 3-0, and he put up some decent numbers, and then they kind of tailed off a little bit. So really, this time of year, again, like you said, injuries go into a lot of it. You got to look at these guys. You got to look at the schedule that they have coming up. You got to look at what guys they have that are available to them, and then you got to make a decision. So again, if you're looking for a 1-week rental, you may not want to take just the first guy because he's got the best stats so far for the season. You want to look at who they're playing this week. What's the defense they're going against? What weapons do they have available to them? And make a pick for 1 week. And that's how you get by this time of year.
I'll tell you what, it's been a trying time for everybody, I think, in the fantasy football the last couple of years, especially with the injuries. But that's what makes a great GM like you are. That's why you're my fantasy football pick. So give us your pick for Week 10 in the NFL.
Yeah, so this week, Week 10, I like Matt Ryan going against the Dallas Cowboys, Derek Carr going against Kansas City, and believe it or not, I'm taking Carson Wentz today going against the Jacksonville Jaguars. He's expecting his first child, and I think he's going to put up some numbers. He says he's going to play no matter what there, even if it misses the birth. At running back, I like Darrell Williams going against Oakland, Melvin Gordon and Javonte Williams going against the Philadelphia Eagles. Take your pick. You never know which guy it's going to be that's going to get the big day, but those guys have really been beating it up, and I look for them to run the ball. Keep an eye on Brandon Bolden today for New England going against Cleveland. You've got Damian Harris out and Stevenson probably out. James Conner filling in for the injured Chase Edmonds today going against Carolina, and Mark Ingram in for the injured Alvin Kamara going against Tennessee. Look for him to get a heavy workload. At wide receiver, I like DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett today with Wilson back. I know he's got that finger injury, but I think they really need this win. It's a big game against Green Bay, and they got to come out of this on the other side with a victory, or they're really going to be in trouble. Hunter Renfrow against Kansas City. CeeDee Lamb looking for a rebound game going against Atlanta. Deontay Johnson. I picked him early, and now you got Ben Roethlisberger out. But you know what? Chase Claypool is out, and you're going to have a backup quarterback, Mason Rudolph, throwing the ball. But I like Deontay Johnson today. They're going to have to score some points, and they're probably going to have to throw the ball. So he's my guy there. And for my picks today, Billy, I told you you're not going to like it. I'm going Denver 27, Philadelphia 21.
27-21. The guru.
Now, if this was Price is Right, you get $100 for matching my score. That's exactly the score that I picked with Gil.
Well, we'd also get to neuter a pet, but
That's right. The old days, spay and neuter your pets. That's correct. Bob Barker. Now I just had to give up my score early. Way to go, Hartley. Hey, I got two questions for you, Guru.
Great minds think alike.
That's correct, buddy. And I love you. I got two questions for you. One, Billy didn't even know that Woods was out, and that.
What are you talking about? I told you.
He didn't even know that OBJ had gone to the Rams. That's the part he didn't know. He knew that Robert Woods was out. He didn't know OBJ was there. Typical Billy. But two, how do the Rams handle that? Because I have that guy, Van Jefferson. Does he step up now? Does OBJ actually become a contributor? What's going on out there?
Well, I think OBJ becomes a contributor. It's going to be tough this week. They do have the extra day because of the Monday night game. And OBJ is going to have to get right in there. It's a devastating blow for the Rams. Woods is an unbelievable wide receiver, and obviously Cooper Kupp is having the career season this year and really having a breakout year, been able to stay healthy. But, this week I like Van Jefferson. He's obviously very familiar. I think he's going to get the benefit of the Woods injury this week. But going forward, we're going to have to see how they use OBJ. What does he have left in the tank? Did he really just want out of Cleveland and was kind of poo-pooing it, or has he lost it a bit? I think he still has a lot left. I think he's going to be a great pick for guys that had him and held on to him and stuck with him. I think, they have to be excited about this change of scenery. And, it's somebody that could put up some pretty big numbers going throughout the rest of the season.
And I do have Chris Godwin in both my leagues that I play in. Unfortunately, the optionality of either T. Higgins or Jamar Chase, Cincinnati's on the bye. So I kind of have to throw him in there. I guess he's playing.
Yeah, right now it seems like he is going to play. You always have the risk that he could tweak something going in, either in warm-ups or during the early parts of the game. But you know what? Hey, most of the time these guys, if they're going to give it a go, they're going to play the whole game. But you really never know. It's a gamble. But again, you got those bye weeks, and if you got those two guys, it's tough. You're kind of stuck with it, and you're not going to drop any of them to pick somebody else up.
All right, there he is, the fantasy football guru, Brian Hartley, picking the Denver Broncos 27
with
to
the
20.
exact same score as me, by the way.
Yes.
You must have been listening, Hartley, on Friday when I was on with Gil. That's got to be it, right?
Yeah.
All right, Brian. Listen, man, we appreciate it. Let's go, Birds. I hope they beat your Broncos, and we will do it again next Sunday.
You got it. I'm not going to be disappointed either way today.
All right. There he is. Brian
Take care, Hartley. Thank
Fantasy
you.
Football Guru.
Have a
Brian,
great day, guys.
Brian Hartley, brought to you by Stell Exteriors. They've been providing professional roofing and siding at affordable prices since 1996. Did you know that only 2% of roofing contractors qualify as GAF Master Elite Installer? So if you do the math, choosing Stell Exteriors takes 98% of the worry out. That's Stell Exteriors, 636 West Avenue in Ocean City, New Jersey, or give them a call at 609-399-1010. That's 609-399-1010. Second hour of the locker room is brought to you by the Great Bay Country Club, where it's not just golf, it's fun. Make Great Bay Country Club your club. Great Bay is an award-winning private golf club where you are greeted by name. It's home of the 3-hour and 58-minute round. You can play on their 18-hole championship golf course, enjoy fine dining, experience lively atmosphere in the pub. For more information on how to become a member, go to greatbay.com or give them a call at 609-927-5071. Great Bay Country Club in Summers Point, New Jersey. See why it's always a great day at Great Bay. We get down there, say hello to Radio Ron Ralston for us, all right? Friends, let me tell you about Maserati, the main line located just minutes from downtown Philadelphia. They offer a client-focused car buying experience designed to exceed all expectations and invite you to stop and see the area's largest selection of new Maseratis, including the sporty Ghibli midsize sedan or the class-leading Levante, the only SUV worthy of being called a Maserati. Maserati, the main line, also leads the nation in certified pre-owned sales and has the highest quality like new Maseratis available on the market. Your experience is not at the point of a sale, as Maserati, the main line, offers free pickup and delivery for scheduled service appointments and provides a new Maserati loaner car. So be audacious. Call my good friend Michael Pileggi at Maserati, the main line, today at 484-804-4800. That's 484-804-4800, or visit them online anytime at motml.com.
Hey, by the way, did you know whose birthday it is today?
Grimes?
No.
Oh.
Well, sure. Happy birthday. Is it Grimes' birthday?
He was yesterday.
Okay. Today, it's Devontae Smith's birthday. Think he's going to have a big game on his birthday? Go out and show the world?
Why not?
Why not? He's 23.
Wow.
Yeah. Makes you feel old, doesn't it?
609-403-0973 is the text board.
Your segue should have been 23 would be a good age in hockey. That's just about where you start getting it, right?
609-403-0973 is the text board. Giving away a pair of Flyers tickets for Tuesday night's game against the Calgary Flames. Send us a text with your favorite Flyer and why. 609-403-0973. Pete, what else do they have to do?
They do have to include their first name and the town. Okay, so text us at 609-403-0973. Let us know who is your favorite Flyer and why. Include your first name and your town to win the tickets. Couple more texts are rolling in. We'll read them on the other side. Plus, we'll continue talking Eagles Broncos here on the Locker Room with the under the weather Billy Schweim, and I'm Pete Thompson. Show rolls on after this. Billy has a cough today. His runny nose is getting in the way. His doopy-doo climbed into his bed, and now he feels like Peter is punching him in the head. It's a head cold for Billy Schweim on the locker room Sunday with PT.
I can't. Oh, that's awesome, Pete.
That's a little thing I do. I just try to,
good,
right.
man.
If I've got a melody, I can make up some words that are not actually the words. You're listening to The Locker Room here on 97.3 ESPN. I am Pete Thompson alongside Billy Schweim on the other side of the glass. Do not get me sick. Do not get me sick. Do not get me sick.
Stay over there.
This is a full 5-day week here, sir. There's no holiday in the middle. There's no Veterans Day. Although I did hear you say that you taught your kids a little bit about Veterans Day. I mean, for me, if I could just tell them the difference between Veterans Day and Memorial Day, I feel like I've accomplished something, right?
Well, I played a nice video, but it was a 7-minute flick, and it had Ronald Reagan narrating a segment, a speech that he'd given, and also
the great communicator,
part of JFK's acceptance speech where he said, "We will bear any burden."
Okay, I like that.
Pay any price, and it was emotional. You know what really tugs at my heartstrings is when you see parents come back from their serving overseas, and they come back and they surprise their children at school or their kid at school.
There's whole compilations of that on YouTube,
God,
and it gets me all the time. Like the dad comes back and puts on the catcher's gear to catch the first pitch, then he takes the mask off and it's him. Or they go to the school and it's like Sparky the dog for the electrical company or something like that, and he takes off the dog mask and there it's the dad. Or the mom. Quite frankly, and
the mom.
it gets me all choked up every single time.
But I think the kids really appreciate it. They see that you tug at their heartstrings, and that's how you get them.
100%. Yeah, get them engaged. Somebody tugged at your strings today, right? And we're trying to tug at our listeners' strings and get them to text in 609-403-0973, 609-403-0973. You have an opportunity to win Flyers tickets here in the final 20 minutes of the show, 609-403-0973. You have to let us know who your favorite Flyer is and why. Include your first name and your town to win the tickets. And there are some more submissions coming in. You text us at 609-403-0973. Those tickets again, Billy, you got that over there? They're brought to you by
Dr. Dominic Mariani at Pennsauken Spine and Rehab.
All right, good job, Dr. Dominic. We appreciate the assistance to prop that up. Look, Flyers did not do so well last night. They lost 5-2 in Dallas on the back end of a back-to-back.
Dallas's unis last night?
Oh, they were brutal. They were
so
cool. No.
Oh,
God,
cool,
have you ever called a hockey game in your life? I mean, you could tell without saying it. Jim Jackson was like, I think that's 20. When the number is plus, not for nothing, it saved them a goal. The damn goalie pads were the same color as the puck. That should be illegal. Black pads and a black puck. They couldn't tell if the puck went over the line or not. Right. I mean, all the Flyers were celebrating like it was a goal. And at that point, it was still a hockey game.
I thought they were pretty cool.
Yeah, I didn't like them.
So 609.
Plus, they looked like they were wearing a live highlighter.
Pete, we got some text for you to read, huh?
Yeah, we have a couple coming in. The first person says that they'd love to go to a Flyers game. They love surety title. Okay. They're from Egg Harbor Township. That is James from EHT, although James did not give me his favorite Flyer, but that's all right. We won't kick him out for that. We would like to hear who your favorite Flyer is. And Frank from Maple Shade, somebody from Maple Shade, listen, cool. Maybe on the StreamYard or on the app, on the free mobile app. He says Glenn Cochran, his toughest Flyer ever.
He was tough.
Let me tell you something about Glenn Cochran. Okay, so my pal, Augie Conti, the dad, right? He has been the NHL off-ice official at both the Spectrum and now the Wells Fargo Center. He's worked with the Flyers, for the NHL, as like the head off-ice official.
He works with Michael Four.
That's correct. But Augie is like the main guy, right? He sits right next to Lou Nolan, and he has the official sheet. He's the one the referee leans over and in the hole talks to and says, I got 2 minutes for this or whatever, right? Or we got them for a hook, or we got, So Augie's been in charge of all this stuff. Now, he is a guy who became friendly with Glenn Cochran, right? So I'm going to say maybe now it's been 5 or 6 years, but Glenn Cochran came to Summers Point and we all met up at Charlie's, had a few pops, right? And somebody said something about so-and-so, or Dave Brown was more intimidating or something like that. And Cochran stood up and sort of fake acted like he was going to deck me. And I said, Glenn Cochran, he says, that's Mr. Glenn Cochran to you, right? So, but he wasn't being a jerk about it. He was just being funny.
Right.
But so since then, I've always referred to him as Mr. Glenn Cochran.
But
I'll send him he couldn't be a more nicer guy.
But Pete, you know Dave Brown off the ice is a sweetheart. He's like the nicest mellow.
Says you. I have a Brown story. Not Dave Brown. I'm talking about Schultz.
No, Schultz. Dave Brown off the ice.
Dave Brown off the ice is as nice as they can be.
Gentle giant as they come.
It's amazing that he had a pro career. The guy was like skating in quicksand.
Right.
You know, like he had to teach himself how to skate.
Well, look at
he was not like a gifted
Jay Caulfield from the Penguins. He played football in college.
Right.
He didn't even play ice hockey.
And then they signed him in, and the rest, as they say, is history. I miss some of that. I miss some of that.
Glenn Cochran was mean. He was mean.
Well, but it was at a time when you could be mean, you know. Aha, some more coming in. Here's John LeClaire. Tell us your town and your first name, please. They didn't listen to the full instructions. And then Dan from EHT is smart enough to say, Dan from EHT, Pelly Lindbergh. To the fans that remember, he will live in our hearts forever. Good one there, Dan. Yeah, keep them coming. 609-403-0973. 609-403-0973.
We'll read them in the last segment, which is, we got a few minutes left, and we get a couple more people in. 609-403-0973. Hey, it's a 4:25 start today, so you got to get down to Blitz's Market to get your Eagles game day meal. Get a discount when you mention the locker room. $5 for Italian hoagies today. Eagles game day.
I heard it's really a big deal.
It sure is. 21st and Asbury Avenue in Ocean City. 609-399-9983. Get down there. And they really stuff it with meat, man. They do.
Don't make me say anything about that. That sounds great.
They put tons of, I'm telling you, I've talked to several people that Dave and Joe Newman down there, they put they don't skimp.
The inactives, some of the inactives are out, by the way, if you're playing fantasy. Notable names that are active, as I talked about with Brian Hartley, the guru. Chris Godwin is going. Corey Davis is going to give it a go. Michael Gallup, Zach Moss, James Robinson, and Ramondre Stevenson. They are all active. On the inactives, if you have Jonnu Smith, the tight end, Jamal Williams, the running back, is inactive. Josh Reynolds, the wide receiver, Damian Harris, running back, and Antonio Brown are all on the early inactive list for the 1:00 kickoff. So there's some actives and inactives for you. I had that Sirianni sound, but we're right at 44, so I guess we don't need it.
We're not going to have time for it. All right, the second hour of the locker room is brought to you by the Great Bay Country Club, where it's not just golf, it's fun. Make Great Bay Country Club your club. Great Bay is an award-winning private golf club where you are greeted by name. It's home of the 3-hour and 58-minute round. You can play on that 18-hole championship golf course, enjoy fine dining, experience lively atmosphere in the pub. For more information on how to become a member at Great Bay, go to greatbay.com or give them a call at 609-927-5071. Great Bay Country Club in Summers Point, New Jersey. See why it's always, always a great day at Great Bay. Just about everybody in our area has heard about the Jersey Man and Philly Man magazine run by ex-Philadelphia tight end Ken Dunnick. But were you aware of their private business network they call the Legacy Club? Every month they hold private events at upscale locations in Philadelphia and South Jersey to attract over 200 top business people. If you have an interest in attending one of these events and see as a fit for your business, send an email to ken@jerseymanmagazine.com or give them a call at 856-912-4007 for more information. All right, when we return, we'll wrap it up. We'll give the winner of
some more text coming in too.
Text messages and for the Flyers tickets and more. It's the Locker Room with Billy Schweim, Pete Thompson, right here on 97.3 ESPN.
And welcome back to the locker room here on 97.3 ESPN. Pete Thompson, Billy Schweim with you on a Sunday, and Eagles Sunday. Remember, you can hear all the Eagles coverage right here on 97.3 ESPN, the official pregame show, or the unofficial pregame show, but the official.
Should I give you my pick right now before we read the winners?
Yeah, the official pregame show starts at 3. Eagles coverage, of course, 4:25 kickoff, and then our night game tonight. There's a good Sunday night game. It's Chiefs and Raiders.
Raiders.
How about Gruden suing the NFL?
And so he should.
Oh, okay.
Those emails were, that's private, isn't it?
I don't know about that, but right. You work. I serve at the pleasure of the president, right? You serve at the pleasure of the league.
All right, listen.
What's your pick?
I'm going to give you my pick before you start reading off the.
Sure.
So we got a couple more text messages to get out of the way, and then we'll pick a winner. All right. The Eagles are going to get killed today.
Oh, my gosh.
They're going to get whacked.
I have them 27-21. I'd just like to clarify that. The same exact pick as Brian Hartley, and very similar to Grayson's pick, who he has the Denver Broncos
I have the Eagles losing 34-21, and that score is not even close.
34 Broncos, 21 Eagles.
And the Eagles score late. Like, they're out of it.
So they're ugly points. So like they're down like 31-7 or 31.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Interesting. Interesting. Or they get Now Gill,
the defense can't stop anybody.
Gill, as I look at my sheet here, Gill is the only one who has the Eagles winning the game.
How about that?
All right, we'll see if he's right. So we've been having people text the show all day today. 609-403-0973, 609-403-0973 to find out our favorite flyer and why. So Austin, yes, to win a pair of tickets to Tuesday night's game. Austin from Cape May Courthouse says that it's Kevin Hayes because one time he was in Boston and shopping at a random Whole Foods, and as he was walking in, here comes Kevin Hayes walking out. Super humble guy, stopped for a pick, a really cool experience meeting an idol of mine going way back since his Boston college days. And Kevin Hayes is back there, Billy Schweim. Wow, and in the pregame, I saw a tweet last night that he was like in the hallway greeting everybody. That was as souped as I've seen Kevin Hayes to play a game. So that was pretty exciting, although they did not win. John from Felton, Delaware. We always like our listeners from Delaware. Thank you, John. Says Carter Hart. He's been a godsend since he showed up. Also texting in, yo, guys, Brian Propman, 26. That's my favorite flyer. Gabe from Northfield says he was the scorer when I first started watching the Flyers. So fun to watch. Thank you, Gabe. Good text there. And Chris from North Cape May says, it's got to be Ricky McLeish. And all he wrote was hair. That's pretty funny. Yeah, Ricky had some good flowing locks.
He had those locks flowing.
John LeClaire is in there. Tom from Petersburg has John LeClaire. Sorry, he had another message in there that's making me chuckle. And last but not least, we talked about Frank from Maple Shade. Frank from Maple Shade says Glenn Cochran. And I don't know, Billy.
Let's spin the wheel.
Yeah. All right. I don't have a spin the wheel effect.
I got to do my spin the bottle. I'll spin this thing right here. Hold on.
Spin the bottle.
You ever, you spin you're like, I'm spinning my pen.
You're making me work harder than I wanted to work. Here we are. You ready? Hang on.
You got one?
I got to wait. It's coming. It's coming. I got to quiet the police.
Looks like it's going to be Frank.
All right, Frank, you're the winner.
Frank from Maple Shade.
Right.
And by the way, Glenn Cochran was tough as nails, man.
That is an awesome pull from the Wayback Machine. You definitely appealed to a couple of baby boomers. Dan from Absecon, thank you for your text that just came in after we spun the wheel. Got to be Brindamore. So gritty. He gave it all. We appreciate hearing from you, Dan. And then Warren Wade from Cape May Courthouse.
My buddy from Collingswood.
Definitely Gary Dornhofer. Still wear his number. All right. So we got some people texting in, and we appreciate that. But Frank from Maple Shade.
So listen, Frank,
he even texted back and said that his kids were excited to hear that we mentioned his name. Well, he's going to be really excited when he hears that he won the tickets. So we will reach out to you, Frank from Maple Shade, and let you know that Glenn Cochran got you the win. Pair of tickets. Eagles
and I'll email
pair of tickets, Flyers, Flames. There we go on Tuesday.
I'm going to have to email you the tickets after the show. You send them to your email. So I'll call you after the show. We got your phone number. So we'll get that all squared away. Pete Thompson, man, I really appreciate you being in here, helping me out today. and carrying the show.
Anytime, man.
I feel horrible, man.
I know you do. Go home, take another one of those. What did you call it? Prime Minister. Take another one of those PMs.
Soup, chicken noodle soup.
You gonna make it for the game? I'll text you.
I'm gonna go home and go right to bed.
I guess at some point, take a little power snooze, couple hours.
That's what I'll do. I'll get up.
It takes about an hour to get home. You got an hour and a half to,
I hope I can.
You're not gonna miss anything.
I get to work all week.
Uh-oh. I'll be there.
You'll be there.
It's a 5-day work week.
I love going.
And then next week is the short week.
I love showing up at school.
Yeah, you do.
And it's fun.
Well, yeah, you're jazzed to be back.
And, as a teacher, you're learning stuff every day.
And it hasn't beaten you down yet.
No, well, I don't know about that.
So everybody picked the Eagles to lose except for Mike Gill.
So Grayson has
Let's review those again. Grayson had 27-24 Denver. You had 34-21 Denver. You really think the Broncos are going to take it to the Birds?
The Eagles defense is putrid.
Brian Hartley said Denver 27, Eagles 21. I said Denver 27, Eagles 21. I said that on Friday, FYI. Right. And then Mike Gill, the host here Monday through Friday, 2 to 6 on the Sports Bash, has 28-25 Eagles. And, he always does game balls. Right. He thinks Devontae Smith is going to go off on the offensive side of the things. And remember, I mentioned it's Devontae Smith's birthday today. Right. Happy birthday, Devontae Smith. He's 23. And then he thinks Darius Slay will get the game ball on the defensive side of things.
And for some reason, Pete, if this team puts it together and can win, who knows, man? They got to.
I would love nothing more than for them to win this game.
All right, PT. I really appreciate it. A little under the weather today, but at least I made it in, and I'll go home and take care of myself. Thanks for making the locker room part of your Sunday, because nothing could be finer than talking sports with the Schweiner. I'll be back next Saturday and Sunday. The PT, you're taking off next week.
I am. That's because I'm going up to the Eagles-Saints game. So, unlike you, I'm not trying to do both. Listen, because if you get me here, then I got to be here.
Yeah, but you're the producer. We can't go on without you.
Right. Well, you'll find a replacement. Somebody will push the buttons.
All right, so stay tuned for Eagles football, 425. Mike and Merle with the call right here on 97.3 ESPN.
Pre-game starts at 3.
Pre-game starts at 3. It's a locker room with Billy Schweim on 97.3 ESPN.